They are truly being professional because they want to fucking kill each other. That's what's going on. They all want, no, and I'm not saying individually.
No,
it's just like they're pissed off. Yeah, like they want to kill each other because they're all mad at each other. They're mad at themselves and they can't vocalize it.
Welcome to this edition of Road Trippin with RJ and Channing. I'm your host, Allie Clifton. We are fueled by the Blue Wire Podcast Network.
Somebody likes Blue Wire.
Maybe that. Oh, well played. Maybe that is celebrating St. Patrick's Day, because as we are recording this, that is exactly what the day is. Before we get started, I know this is going out tomorrow, but in light of it, it's my brother's birthday, 29, Corey.
Corn dog?
Big supporter of the pod. Happy birthday. Shout out to you.
Corey's a wonderful human being, by the way.
I know. He wants to buy all of your wine.
Dude, buy it all. What's up?
Yeah. He wants to buy it all. He also wanted you, in light of March Madness, to be a part of their bracket thing that they were doing. Well, I don't know.
Closed mouths don't get fed, Allie.
Oh, I hate that line. They also get fed a lot of BS if you're not careful. With that said, let's dive into the pod. What is on y'all's heart, mind, souls? What do you want to start with? What do you want to talk about? What's the hottest topic take that you have for the NBA currently right now?
Okay, two things. One, I'm going to go first. One, we are seeing an absolute unprecedented offensive explosion that I don't know if I've ever seen in the history of the NBA. And I'm not saying, because usually you have guards scoring 60. It's big men, guards, forwards. Some of the best offensive players are getting hot at the right time, and it's making the league really exciting. Right? And regardless if people go, well, they're playing a bad team. Bad team or not, 60 is 60. Karl-Anthony Towns had 32 and a quarter. In my 14 years, my career high is 33. So my man was going to work. And then number two, I have not seen a team quit the way the Lakers have quit, except the Orlando Magic when the Dwight Howard and Stan Van Gundy stuff came. I remember they were like first in the league and all that stuff came out and they just went, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like a heavy turd in the toilet, right to the bottom.
Sick. What is wrong with you? Let me first add a little bit of context, which I thought this stat was incredible, to your offensive scoring notion that you just said. We just had it actually on our pregame show yesterday, that 7 players have now scored 50 points or more in the month of March. By the way, it is only March 17th. Which is a kind of scoring spurt that has not been seen since the Elgin Baylor and Wilt Chamberlain era. I believe the two of them combined to put on similar performances. We had it on our pregame show. My question to you with that is, actually, Rich, let me get your thoughts on that as well, as Channing just mentioned.
No, I agree with Channing. The one thing that's crazy is that it starts to turn into like, if you can do it, I can do it. Jason Tatum said the same thing. Jason Tatum said, he goes, he basically goes, I saw Bron go saw Bron go for 56. And then I decided to do the same thing. I'm just like pushing myself. So I think a lot of these guys just watch each other. And when one does it and then one has it going, then they just keep saying, oh, well, he scored 50 or he did this. I want to be a part of this. You know, I think those are the things that happen in those moments.
I like this sexy, smooth jazz voice of Richard. Do you need a lozenge?
It's allergy season out here in LA.
Is it? Oh, it's not the smog. Obviously not. Do you need a little?
Okay, let me ask you.
You need to put a little Jack Daniels in the throat. You got to keep the throat moist, Richard.
Oh yeah, super moist.
Oh my God. How old are we again? Let me ask you guys this question when it comes to the scoring, and this is taking nothing away. You guys know this. No disrespect to any player who obviously has scored in which the way they have, especially recently. But is this a reflection of the way in which the defense in the NBA has kind of changed a little bit? Or is this purely on the ability and the dynamics of players offensively?
I think guys just got hot. I think to say it's more of guys seeing each other. It's like people forget how small of a group it is and how competitive it is. You see one guy does it, another guy wants to be a part of that group, and then they kind of like quietly push themselves. To say like the defense is all of a sudden like in March just decided to shut down, I wouldn't go that far.
I think there are people though of other eras who say that it is a bit of a different style defensively. And
I would say,
to not have seen spurts like this since the 50s.
You can't, who are you? Okay, so for instance, let's say, all right, maybe LeBron is the only one that you would say, how did he get 50? Because I would just double team him all over the place and make somebody else beat you, right? But at the end of the day, then everyone else is getting involved because you're getting a non-scorer to pass, which he wants to do, right? Or you would go, okay, you're double teaming Jason Tatum to give it to the rest of the team. That's the best team. They've been the second best team in the NBA since the January 1st or the 1st. So what are you like? What defense are you doing that's going to stop these players? Who are you going to double team? People are double teaming KD at half court to let Kyrie play 2-on-1. Stop it. People are double teaming Kyrie at half court to let KD play 1-on-1. Pick your poison. If you do not have the personnel, if you do not have 2 to 3 legit defenders or a game plan, let's say you're on a back-to-back and your team is just tired or they're young and you get a fresh, have not played in 2 days Kyrie, that barbecue is already hot. You just got to put the steak on there to get the sear marks. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop these players. I'm sorry. People in the 90s and 80s, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, the other part about it is that, like, look at who is doing it. Jason Tatum, Kyrie, KD, LeBron James, Karl Anthony. Like these are all like all-stars. These are not, it's not, other guys that just had like these sporadic moments. For the most part, it's been the best players in the league, right? Who is like, it's not like there's bums going off for 50 and like other people are doing stuff. You literally have the top players in the league, basically going out. The only thing that I can say, and that's why I keep pointing to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum said after he saw Bron score 56 and saw what Kyrie did, he wanted to be a part of that. It's not that he went out into the game to I'm going to go and score 50. It's like when all of a sudden you feel like you got it cooking, you start to push it to see if you can reach that level. Those are very different mindsets. No one goes in and is like, I'm going to score 50 tonight. There's probably about 3 or 4 players in the history of the game of basketball that said that. It's more of like, oh, I had 16 in the first quarter. Well, let me push it. Let me see what I can do. Oh, I got 21 at half. Oh, okay. Let me push it. Let me see what I can do. So these guys just start pushing it because they want to see if they can join whatever that club is. And how many times does it always happen where one gets it and then you start to see a string? It doesn't make it less impressive, just shows how competitive these guys are.
That's very fair. With that said, where is Luka? Speaking of scoring, because I'm looking at his numbers over the last 12 to 15 games, he's had 51, 45, 21, 49, 23, 34, 25. You get the point. Where's Luka in your MVP conversation?
Nowhere.
Last year's Steph. Stop. Listen, the season is the whole season, right?
The whole season.
The whole season. Now, he's even said, now this hurts him. And every year, I think Luka is a top 10 player in the NBA, and he's shown that, and he may be above 10. But like, for you to have the responsibility, certain players go, oh, he's going to be an all-star this year, or he's going to be this. We just automatically go, Luka's going to be an all-star. He's already in it. Every year Luka's been in the NBA, other than his rookie year, he has been in the MVP talks. And then every year at the beginning of the year, he goes, well, I'm either not in shape or he has a bad 25 start of the year. No other MVP that we're talking about has a bad 25 games or I need to get in shape, or everybody is doing stuff during the summer. And yes, he's playing for his country. Yes, he needed a break. Yes, there's 1,000 excuses. When the NBA and the media and the players deem you an MVP candidate and you don't start the season off well, it is hard for me to go, oh, well, you played 60, 67 or 57 games rather than 67 when Luka or like Jokic and Embiid have played 80 out of 82, or Giannis has played. Like, the consistency has to start from day one. Like, I want this award, or I am committed to winning at this level. And I just think he's Steph. He's Steph last year. Steph had a crazy March and April and absolutely rose to the ranks. I think it was 3rd or 4th last year. And obviously Jokic played all 82. So, like, yes, good job. You're having a really good month, really good 2 months, but you can't be in the top 3. That's already solidified.
Yeah. And Luka's one of those guys that, no fault of his own, because he's so great, because he's so talented, that, like, there's no conversation. The way he plays the game, Luka's going to average 28, 7, and 7. There's no question about whether or not he's going to be an all-star. The only question is he going to be all-star? Is he going to be an all-star starter? What all-NBA team is he going to be on? Those are the only conversations that when the season starts for Luka, he's so good. Same with LeBron James. No one's like, oh, is he an all-star? Or what, or where, is LeBron James going to make an all-NBA team? It's like, yeah, those things are going to happen. In order for Luka to win an MVP, he needs to come out of the gate and be dominant the first 30, 40 games of the season. Maybe have a stretch, doesn't mean it has to have a perfect season, but he's got to go out there and outplay, not be the most. See, I think Luka's one of those guys that, like, it's not about being the most important player on your team. They want to see Luka be the best player in the NBA in order for him to win an MVP. Like, show us that you are having a better season than anybody else in the league, and that you've done that all season long. He's not even close to that. So that's not a disrespect to say he's not an MVP caliber player. It's just more to go to say that, like, he ain't winning MVP this year, so, like, he's not in the race.
Every year he's an MVP caliber candidate. Every single year until he's done, he's that good. To your point, Channing, the last 2 years to start the season, he was betting favorite in Vegas. Yeah. He was the betting favorite in Vegas. And you look at his team now. When he was out, his team got really, really good. Now, he said, hey, I'm going to be with this culture. And a lot goes to Jalen Brunson. A lot goes to, getting guys healthy. He's done a lot since Tim Hardaway has been hurt. I didn't know where they were going to go after that. Bringing in Dinwiddie helped a lot. Bringing in other guys that, like, are ball handlers and people it's not just a central focus on him, has really elevated him a lot, like Ja Morant, right? Where I go, man, I don't know about the talent, but then you look at the skill set of everyone and their disposition towards him has really helped him and challenged him. So I'm saying no this year. I would bet big money next year. He takes next year, especially the first 20 to 25 games, extremely serious.
Yeah, if Luka would have played all season like he has the last 30 games, then yes, like, obviously. But the only thing that brings him into MVP, let's say even conversation or consideration, is the way he's played the last 30 games. So, like, it's a no for me, dog. Not even close.
With that, moving on to the next topic or topical situation in the NBA. How does Steph Curry's injury change the Warriors?
Well, yeah, what do you mean? They're nothing.
Really?
They're nothing. They're nothing without.
What do I mean?
100%. Yeah, I'm saying, what do you mean? I'm like, the Warriors are.
Allie, that was a great question. Let me answer it for you.
No, Allie, it is a great question. We're not shooting the messenger here, because there's a lot of fans that wonder what they can do. Ultimately, for the Warriors, that you can do nothing without. They can't accomplish anything without Draymond. They can't accomplish anything about Steph. They can't accomplish anything without. They can do short spurts, right? But over the course of the season, like, you need your MVP to be playing at a high level. So right now, they're back to where they were before Draymond came. Like, that's the part that sucks. Draymond's been back for 2 games. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah.
Sorry,
well, yeah.
this is me assuming that you guys would have understood where I was coming from. That is my fault. With that said, there is optimism that Steph will return for the playoffs. And you look at the work in which they put in to start the season to put them in the position that they are in. So expecting to be healthy by the time the playoffs come around, I'm thinking more so the timing of him coming back, obviously at the critical point in terms of postseason. Is that going to change the Warriors? Are these last dozen games or so without him going to...
Richard, let me...
No?
Go ahead, and I'll tell you what I think.
Go ahead. No. I'm just saying, like, we're getting back to and this is a great question, Ali. It's more of like, we're getting back to the if games. If they get back, if they have enough time. And so, the question is right, but it's one of those things that's like basically the same thing. We can't judge the Warriors until Draymond got back. Draymond comes back for 2 games and now Steph is out for the foreseeable future. So that puts their team right back into the same deficit of a spot as that they're a team that's supposed to be contending for a championship. If they're 100% healthy, they're one of the top 5 teams in this league, maybe top 4, should be contending for a championship. Without one of their stars, it's the same thing. It's like you take Middleton off of Milwaukee. You take
Jimmy Butler.
You take Tyrese I'm saying you take, I'm just going even less than that. I'm saying you take, Tyrese Maxey off of Philly. All of a sudden, like, you take out a key part to what that championship puzzle piece is, you're going to have some problems, especially with the way this league is structured, where there's so much parity across the board.
So I think another good question would be Golden State's 3.5 games above Utah and Dallas. Does Golden State keep that 3.5? Do they stay at 3 or do they end up at 5? There's no way Denver can catch them, right? That's just too much, right? Getting 5 games or 15 games, 3.5 can happen very quickly. That can happen in a week, right? Like Dallas can win 3 in a row and Golden State can lose 3 in a row. So does Golden State, to you guys, now I'm flipping it on Allie. Allie, does Golden State stay 3?
Please.
Or do they go 4 or 5?
Look, our stats guy, Andrew Miller, who's wonderful with us, big Warriors fan. And he actually just mentioned, even before the Steph injury, during the stretch that they were going through, and obviously we saw him with the Lakers in the stretch that they're in, and they obviously took 50 plus for Braun, but nonetheless were able to get the job done. That was before Draymond. He's mentioned to us a lot, they're just simply struggling. And to your point of how quick it can go in the West, and right now, teams jockeying for that playoff position, I think easily they could slide to 5, especially without Steph. I think it's a very interesting time, though, because without Draymond for that stretch of games, a lot of people were talking about his impact. Yeah. Does his impact still remain the same, even with Clay, though no Steph? Do they need one another?
Yeah, they're all great individually. No, good. They're all great individually. They're all like like Captain Planet. When their powers Voltron, when their powers combine, the motherfuckers are a problem. But you can see that like they all become 20% better when they're around it. Steph is an MVP candidate without anybody. Like Draymond could be a defensive like player of the year on other teams. Klay Thompson is going to be a top shooting guard regardless of who else is on his team. But when you put them together, their chemistry, their understanding of the game and the way they play, it's been unstoppable for 6 or 7 years now. So it's just like, but when you take off, it's since 2015. 2014, 15 is when they won their first championship. So that just shows you. Now, obviously there's been Kevin Durant and they've had some down years, but it just shows consistently how their rhythm is when they're together.
I just think it's been rare to see a relationship between Draymond and Steph. I can't off top name 2 players that were so connected like that. Like I just can't, where Draymond just knows where Steph is. And I think Draymond has assisted almost 1/3, which is a crazy number of Steph's points. Right? Think about that. One player has assisted 1/3 of a player's points, right? When it comes to assisted points. I think that's a stat that I've seen, but I could be wrong. So leave me alone. But for me, who has Draymond have that relationship with? There's no time. First of all, he hasn't played. These are new guys. These are young guys.
But it's also, we're talking about Steph Curry. You're talking about Steph Curry.
No offense to Jordan Poole and Wiggins. They're not doing
LeBron. Yeah, that's like taking LeBron James. That's taking Luka. That's taking the best player on any team and taking them out. Will they still be, they're not going to fold, but like, yeah, there is a potential for them to drop with X amount of games left. If they, if they go 500 over this stretch and another team, wins 8 out of 10, there it is right there. There's your 3 games in the loss column. That's gone.
And we talked about Luka. We talked about Golden State. You two, Dallas, Golden State, Steph just coming off an ankle, medium Clay, medium Draymond. How many games does that series go, do you think, and who wins that series?
Five, Golden State.
Okay.
I want to say 6. I want to say 6 because of the elements. Right. Again, the thing that you guys don't like to talk about, the ifs. I would say I'd give Luka as the leader 6.
Now Dallas is the home team, is what I'm assuming. 5-6. So Dallas is the home team.
Oh,
yeah,
that they
Dallas
move
is the
up.
home team.
Dallas ain't that tough of a place to play. Like Dallas ain't Golden State.
But I also like what we talk about with the Warriors.
Exactly.
If they're all out there, if they're all out there as a group, the one thing that you won't have to worry about is it's not going to take a lot of time. Maybe rhythm wise, but I still take Steph Curry battling rhythm in a 7-game series to not take a lot of time.
Yeah, I would still look. No one's rooting against the Warriors. If we're going to our betting against, if we're going to go, all guys on their team are 80% healthy and locked in. Yeah, I think they can win that series, in 6, most likely. One game, Luka is amazing, or he just gets everyone involved. And then another game, let's say Steph is doesn't shoot the ball well. There's 2 of your victories.
Did you see how great Golden State without Clay started the season? Yeah. I mean, everybody on that team. It's as if they all their pieces adding into that core had been together.
Most young teams with talent start off the season great. They have no pressure on them. They're not really on TV like that. Like, no, just listen. Just hear
what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? The Golden State Warriors are a young team with no pressure.
I was going to say, I don't really.
Like, come on, Channing. I'm with you. I agree with you. But that's more in reference to like the Cleveland, the Memphises, the
nobody
teams
expected
like that.
Wiggins to be an all-star.
Finish.
Clay, nobody knew when he was coming back. What were they last year? You didn't know exactly what Steph was going to be.
You can't say a young.
This is a Jordan Poole.
You didn't know what Steph was going to be. Steph, you said Steph was an MVP candidate, bro, at the end of the season because he played well. So coming into the season, you would expect Steph to at least still be a top 10 player in this league.
Okay.
Fair with Wiggins, but I also think the way in which
you say the same thing about about Bron. Real quick, Allie. You said the same thing about Bron. Like the other day, like you make it seem like somebody even tweeted like Channing makes it seem like Bron's just gonna wither away, like he's gonna go from like great to 0 in like 2 seconds.
We're actually going to get to him in a second based off of that, Channing. I have a question for you, but I'm just saying really quick, the way in which the Warriors finished a season ago, which I know seems like forever ago, but I don't think that you're shocked the way in which they started the season. Maybe Wiggins and the way in which he's playing, performing at a high level, becoming an all-star. Yeah, that may have caught a few off guard. But I don't consider the Warriors young in age. They're young in experience, maybe all together, and the way in which they work together. That's what's been impressive.
That's what I was trying to say.
Sorry. That's what's been impressive.
Not
young in age, but the way in which they came together and all have been a part of it.
No, what are you Jordan Poole. This was not his first season there. This is not his first season there. Wiggins, not his first. Wiggins. No, I understand that, but we're talking about their stretch that they had before Clay even got there. Okay. We're on the same page. I understand what you guys are saying, but merely we got to stop making it seem like this team was thrown together and they just blossomed out of fucking nowhere. These guys are fucking. These guys have all been on this roster
years to start the season.
Whether that's Gary Payton II or Wiggins or Poole.
Yeah, because they've gotten better. Because not Wiggins, but I would say Poole and some of these guys, Toscano Anderson.
Not until after All-Star.
I don't think Wiggins got
He's still
better.
on that tequila from Cancun. I don't know what he was doing. That boy got the yips at the free throw line.
We have a bunch of fun fan questions that we're going to get to in a second, but hang on. I'm going to ask you guys this question. And then if you want to add anything else to the NBA conversation before we kind of bring that to a close. LeBron, my question here, 29.5 points, 8 boards, 6 assists. That's what he is averaging, a little bit above his career averages. Can he win the scoring title?
He can. Yes, he can. Will he?
Will he? I'm sorry. Will he? That's my question.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm going to say no, just because they're most likely going to be blown out in so many games in the fourth quarter that like you need all 4 quarters. You got to play all 4 quarters to get the scoring title. Like he had
something
30
in mind though.
I know who he is. I know my guy, but I'm saying like it was the Phoenix Laker game. They were down by 30 to start the fourth. And he had 30. That was one of those things where if that game was within 15, that he could go out in there and have a 42-point performance, maybe even bigger. But they're just playing so poorly just because of the lack of chemistry. Yeah, look, I'm not going to say they're going to.
I watched the film.
I'm just going to say they don't look like they didn't look like they did not quit. That's what I'm going to say.
It's such a disrespectful way of playing basketball sometimes when they have all the energy in the world until like one turnover happens and they go, fuck, I'm still with you? Shit. You know what this reminds me of? And I was laughing.
Look,
do you know when you got to go over to your bad cousin's house and you hate it? And you're like, God, I got to go over here again. And you just got to eat it. And you're just like, man, I don't want to sleep on the floor. There's no couches. There's no pillows. There's no blankets.
Yo, Channing, not all of us grew up like you, bro. Not all of us grew up. Like I was that shitty cousin that everyone had to come over to my house. We had no food,
no toys.
But
you gotta go.
We were told to just go outside and play. And they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, it's fucking 114. Dude, I don't know what the fuck do you want to do.
Yeah, so
you don't got no games.
You're playing to go back in the house.
Just like,
Lakers are playing to go right back in the house. Oh my God.
Look, I know you guys we all have to walk because of my position, obviously, and with all due respect that I have for the team, I cover them every single night, but you guys often text me during games, right?
Yeah.
And your relationship, obviously, with the guys on the team, and it's hard. They're struggling, right? There's no other way to say it.
That's true.
You guys can have and say what you want and how you want. That's on you. With that said, you mentioned the turnover, and I actually started post game with this when I hosted a couple weeks ago because there was the possession with the Lakers and the Clippers when I don't know if you guys remember the start of the third, and they ended up calling it a foul, and then you couldn't challenge it. And it automatically was like an 8-0 swing in one possession. And Channing, you talk about when it's a turnover, how quickly things turn. Like the fragility of a team, how telling, like just perspective on it. Like what that's like when you guys are watching it. Have you ever experienced that as a player in the league?
Because we didn't know who we were, right? So this guy had his individual awards he wanted, or he thought how we can win. This guy had an idea of how he wanted to win. I knew I was going to get traded. This guy was doing this. Everyone's doing their own thing. So all we need is like
the fact that Channing's trying to compare this shit to his time in Orlando is like, what the fuck, bro?
Is a bad team.
Your team was dog shit.
At least we tried.
Yeah, but your team was dog shit to start this season. You guys did try. I respect that more. Okay. Really, like the only way to describe this is that have you ever tried to write on a wet piece of paper? That's what Frank Vogel is trying to coach. It's like Frank Vogel is trying to coach these guys by writing on a wet piece of paper that they're trying to like read through. It's like bleeding through, and it's like literally, it's like you know what? They are as fragile as a Listerine strip. You see those little Listerine strips that you put it on? The minute it hits your tongues, amazing. The minute it hits your tongue, it just evaporates. That's how fragile. At the least bit of
what is the word? I know what you're thinking about.
That thing is gone. That's
resistance. Resistance, or what is the
least amount of resistance? Yeah. Come on.
I want to know, instead of you guys continuing to describe this in all the different ways in which you can that are so freaking ridiculous and off the wall, How, like, what, like that struggle, what is that? Like, it's hard, right? Like, it's not, okay, let me say something, because a lot of people are like, Allie, you guys are even saying it, that they're not even trying. I actually disagree with that. I do. I disagree with it because as former players, as professional athletes, you guys all understand you have a responsibility to show up and do your job. And I'm not taking that away from them. But when it doesn't work and it's not coming together and you still have all these games left, then yeah, maybe it looks as if they're not trying. But I can't sit here and let y'all disrespect
you better not.
athletes like that.
Okay, we can disrespect them. You can't. Listen. This is, I feel like I might have said this. I feel like I might have said this. They are acting very professionally. This is why I believe that the Lakers are acting professionally and what is wrong with their situation. The Lakers, in any situation, if you're in a bad work environment, you're in a bad relationship, you're in a bad family situation, you just numb yourself. You just, you take away any emotion, you take away any intensity, you're just floating, right? Because if not, you're going to go on the emotional highs and roller coaster. You're going to be screaming, you're going to be yelling, and you're like, fuck this. I'm just going to get through this. And then what happens is once you disengage from any situation, then you're not invested. You're not locked in. You're not doing any of these things. So for me, when I watch them, they don't argue. You have yet to hear Bron's complain about Russ, AD complain about, you've never heard any internal. You can say that guys aren't happy. There's been guys but there's never been anything that has gotten out. You've never seen guys publicly. You've never seen guys on a podium. You've never seen guys cussing at each other on the court. They are truly being professional because they want to fucking kill each other. That's what's going on.
No, you're totally right.
And I'm not saying individually. It's just like they're pissed off. Yeah, they want to kill each other because they're all mad at each other. They're mad at themselves and they can't vocalize it. Bron was trending the other day because he was bouncing the ball and it's like, oh, Bron doesn't care, but then Bron does care.
How many times did you guys see that in Cleveland?
Oh, a fucking 1,000 times. Bron used to apologize to us at dinner. We're like, yo, guy, he'd have a glass or two of wine. And Shannon's like, I'm not fucking going to dinner. He's going to fucking walk around bitching us all the time. I'm not going to dinner with him. And I was like, all right, let's go to dinner and let's just go meet up with them later. So then we go meet up with them later. He's got a smile ear to ear. And he's like, guys, I'm sorry I yelled at you guys. My bad, And we're like, bro, it's cool. Let's go. And then it's fine.
You're totally right. Yeah. So again, the terminology is probably not correct. They are trying, but in the NBA, I think they have 4 top 75 guys. They're trying. Looks like they are not emotionally invested into the game because they can't, because there's no way they can fix what is going. When they go out there, you cannot go 100% because number one, you don't trust the other people around you. And number two, you go, even if I give 1,000%, we're still probably going to lose, right?
But they won 2 games and Bron went to 50. Bron has to go to 50. So what the fuck is okay, let's take LeBron James out of it. What is your mindset as a player if in the last 2 times your team won was because you went for 50? Do you know how exhausting that is to even start a game?
And you're almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to get, you're like, okay, I gotta
no get 50 to win this.
No warm-ups, no pregame shots. Just, I need a massage. I need a Red Bull, double shot of espresso and a 5-hour energy. I got to go get 50. That is a wild. So if you're not hot in the first quarter, I said, if you're not hot in the first quarter.
I didn't hear what Allie said.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I just said you're on a deathbed with that.
Deathbed.
Because if you go, I had a 4-point first quarter, you go, damn, okay, I got 3 quarters to get 46. It's just like, damn.
Okay. Enough.
I know. Sorry.
Anything else in the NBA before we go on to questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about? We good?
No. Wait.
We could finish with, do you guys think?
Here's a question. Do you think Ben Simmons is going to come back? Now, we don't know. I
He
don't
got
know.
an epidural. He got an epidural. That's not just
No. Then never mind. That's it.
No, I'm saying he got a shot. LeBron had them. Other players have had them, like getting shots in your back to kind of lower whatever intensity is in your back. But
Dude,
it's
but
not
he hasn't
looking.
played all year, and you're getting an epidural in the middle of March.
Yeah, but no, he hasn't
And they
played in
want you to be-
games. He's been No, but you understand, he's been physically able to move and train.
They said
He just
couldn't
ramped
do
it up, and
They say he couldn't dunk 2 weeks ago. Oh, you're a Nets guy.
because his
Sorry.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but no. What this has nothing to do with the fucking Nets. What I'm saying is that there's a difference between a player that's been injured and out or
Right.
a player that just hasn't been with the team. That's one of the reasons why Kyrie, when he first showed up, everybody was so like complimentary of him. Is the fact that this dude wasn't with his team and then showed up and started giving everybody 40 balls. Ben Simmons tried to ramp up his workouts to get ready, and then all of a sudden he had supreme like back tightness and soreness. So then they had to lower him down because he tried to wrap it up, and it's not going away. So then they inject him to try and get that back, but he's had like little back stuff over the course of his career. That's basically what happens when you decondition your body for 7 months and you try and ramp it up and your body's like, no. And this guy's in his 20s.
That's what I
right?
feel
Like
like.
he's in his early 20s. Like think about that shit. So,
I'm
It's
gonna
not
keep
because
it
I'm
ramp
looking
down.
crazy.
Ramp it down. is what
I
I'm
can ramp
talking
down. That's what my ass is broken down now from trying to ramp up.
about. Me too. Yeah, ramp
All right,
down.
guys, I'm going to take this moment to remind our listeners, our viewers, that you can call or text us anytime. Call or text us anytime
Let's
at 657-522-5578. That's 6575 call RT. We're going to take some questions here from fans. I thought they were kind of fun. I asked Channing to look at them and he said basically that he wasn't going to. So let's see how this works.
I like surprises.
From 8 Skags on Twitter. Who is your all under 25 team and which one player are you starting your franchise off with? And let's kind of keep these quick because we've got plenty. Your all under 25 team and who are you starting your franchise off with?
How old is Jokic? And it's probably going to be
Jokic is
Luka.
27.
Okay, I'm going to say
It has to be like
Luka.
Ja. Yeah, I'm going with Luka.
I'm going to say Luka.
I like big guards.
It's like
I like
yeah,
big
yeah.
guards. If I was a GM, I'd have 10 dudes who are 6'5" and above.
Yeah, there's not
Give me
like
two
Luka.
other players to go with them.
Luka.
Luka, Ja Morant, and
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Evan Mobley.
ooh,
I think
you
he's
took my
different. I
shit.
think he's different, y'all. I think he's different.
Took my shit.
Like he's quiet, he's this, he's that. JB won't shut the fuck up about him, how much he loves him, right? Like I think he has like this dude with Jared Allen out goes for his first 30-point game against the Clippers, right? This is a rookie now that would be a sophomore in college, just had a 30 ball against a playoff team in a need situation. Like when young players start figuring out, that's when they start getting scary.
I mean, damn, this is a great list. I mean, Jason Tatum is under 25. Jaylen Brown, who's one of my favorite players, is under 25. Oh, no, Joel Embiid's 28.
You got a
Karl
list over there?
Towns is only 26. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, missed it by a mark.
Bam is 24. Holy shit.
Oh, Bam is good. All right, we're going on to the next one.
Okay, yeah. Now Channing's just listing players that are under 25.
Austin Reed, 2021.
Austin Reed is a
2021.
fan. Austin, man, you've been playing
Reed.
great this
Oh,
season.
hey,
Been
he
playing
gave
great.
me an Xbox controller. I
Did
told
he?
Braun, hey, get one of your rookies to get me a new Xbox controller.
You so
He got
wrong for
Austin
that.
Reeves to deliver it. What do you mean?
Austin
Good
Reed.
move.
I'll actually go there next. Video games. A question was actually a good one. Austin Reed, though, 2021 on Instagram asks, what kind of fries does Channing French fry like?
Okay. Answer the question.
Answer.
She's like,
First
there's
of all,
not a part
I think-
two.
1 is Five Guys. 2 is McDonald's. 3.
What is 2? You cut out. I missed it.
McDonald's.
Five
McDonald's.
Guys, McDonald's, and then
Rallies, checkers.
I do like Rallies. Damn.
Rallies is really good fries.
I think the worst French fries are In-N-Out Burger. It's just-
Okay. I like
Yeah,
that. So,
they're-
Rich, I'll
yeah.
take it one
They're
step
disgusting.
further. Our girl, Natalie Marr from Soho. Who
Yeah.
also, she's a big fan
Tight.
of Road Trippin,
Nat.
right? She said,
Yeah,
rank
yeah,
your
yeah.
best to worst fast food joint fries. Best to worst. Top 3.
Rallies to me has the best fries.
Best to worst.
Yeah,
and
I've never
then-
had
and then-
Rallies.
Rallies, it's Checkers. Rallies is Checkers in other places, but I would say the fries are amazing. The fries are amazing. You know what? And it's tough because like the Wendy's fries, but like it's only because their dipping sauce is the Frosty. Dude. The dipping sauce is the Frosty. So
they don't
like,
get that. None of the people dip in a Frosty.
Oh,
they think it's
the dipping in a Frosty is amazing.
In Ohio, at least the Midwest dips it in their Frosty.
You're from Indiana. You're from Northern
Ohio.
Indiana.
With that said, where's Chick-fil-A? The waffle fries.
Where's who?
Where's Chick-fil-A on this?
They're better than In-N-Out. They're better than In-N-Out.
I'm telling you this right now.
I agree with Channing.
The problem
Worst.
is,
wait, no, I said the Chick-fil-A fries are better than the In-N-Outs. Are better than In-N-Outs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Chick-fil-A's waffle fries go from molten lava hot to Antarctica frozen within a minute. So unless you get them directly to you, the minute they get room temperature, them things taste like cardboard. You
All
might as
right,
well
next question. We're talking
Talk about this forever. Clearly.
Yeah.
Blaine Burnett on Twitter. Hard-hitting question. Channing, I believe this is for you. Is your raptor in World of Warcraft still named Dick Puncher? And do you game still with Tim Duncan?
No, so I don't game with Tim Duncan, and I haven't played Warcraft in like a long time. And my so in the game, you can be a hunter, and then your sidekick can be any animal you want. And I had two pets technically, and one of them was Ned Gobbler and Dick Puncher. And it was a raptor, and then like one was a snake.
You're like, go get him, Dick
it was
Puncher.
the funniest thing. Yeah, hey, literally, I'm on comms like Dick Puncher's gonna get it.
But like Nut Gobbler? Like why?
Nut Gobbler, dude, because it's a stupid video game, and it's so funny when people are like, "Hey, Nut Gobbler, get out of here!"
Dead, I can't.
Dude, okay, so.
Keep going.
Okay, anyways, well,
keep going. I want to hear this. I want to hear where you're going with this.
Okay, so me, my brother, and two friends all have funny yet like weirdly inappropriate sexual names for Xbox, and mine is Bless Fingers. His is Pleasure Fist, and the other one is Gifted Hands.
Richard, you totally just got up like on purpose, by the way, to leave me here.
You knew it. Rich is like, yo, bless hands, bless fingers. What's up?
Sick.
It's not sick. It's funny. Yes, it's a funny thing.
Can we please get Tim Duncan back on the podcast too?
Dude, I can imagine what his is.
You did that on purpose, yes.
No, Allie.
Sorry.
I had to play video games with this asshole for the last few years. Like, yes, I've seen these names. All of his brothers, all of these guys. Like, I've seen it all. Like, yeah.
So you probably
so
know which one of the group is Pleasure Fist.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm with them. I'm
Logan?
with them. Like, yeah.
Is it
Mind
Logan?
you, my name was Daddy Rich 24. It's like, yo, where's Daddy Rich? Where's Daddy Rich?
Dude, it's weird.
So weird.
It's weird. Like, hey,
what would you give me if I played? What would my name be? No,
No, yeah. Miss Perfect. Yeah. Fucking Pink Power Ranger 1.
10 toes down, 10 toes down, Clifton.
Yeah. First of all, you want to enter into a dark web, get into like a video game chat room. We saw what happened. We saw what happened with that NASCAR guy. People become different people when they get on the headsets. They become different people when they get on the headsets.
You got to fight for your life.
Yeah. We saw
Just a kid from Somerton on Instagram wants to know, big name ex teammate you could FaceTime right now and they would answer.
None of the motherfuckers.
Grant would definitely pick up. Grant or Steve would pick up if they're not playing.
Grant Hill and Steve Nash for those that may
Grant
not.
Hill, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Braun, definitely not. He'd be like, what the hell's wrong with Channing?
Yeah.
No. Kevin, no. He says, what the hell are you doing? Don't FaceTime me, text me.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Devin Harris would probably, for me, that's my guy.
You have no friends.
I don't like NBA people. I don't like NBA people.
You don't think J Kidd would pick up, Richard?
J Kidd? No, because I've never FaceTime. No, I'm just saying he would be like, why the fuck are you FaceTiming me? That's the only thing I would get from him.
Still, the shock value you would still win the bet.
Oh. I don't know. J-Kid might not
That would
trust
be fun.
me
I
to
wish you guys
FaceTime.
would pick up the phone and call
FaceTime
right
and
now.
be like, I'm not answering this. He doesn't FaceTime me. There's something wrong. He's not answering. He's like, what's up? I get a lot of like the, what's up? What are you trying to show me?
Yeah,
I got my kids around.
Yeah.
What's up? With that said, we're going to take a pause for a second because, guys, I do actually want to ask you about something that we have all been gifted and have been trying, and I'm a huge advocate of it. I actually wanted to take a couple weeks. Love me some Jesus. Couple weeks before I actually gave my little assessment on it. Athletic Greens. We're all using it, right? Every morning.
You said pause. You said pause. Wait, why are we pausing? Are we pausing
from the questions? And we're going to talk about athletic greens for a hot minute because it just reminded me when it comes to the energy in which we bring to the podcast. Every time I have been using athletic greens for the last couple of weeks. I know that you guys also have yours. Rich, you actually asked for more because you loved it so much.
Yeah, my shit's almost gone.
Oh, mine's definitely gone.
Are we fans of it?
Can you drink too much of it? Like if I wanted to have it, like is it like, you know how like people like grab a soda, grab a drink? Like, is it weird if I mix some of that shit in water and just like, this is what I'm going to drink with
That's
my meal?
actually a really good question. I don't know.
You can never have too many greens.
That's a good question.
You're just more vegetarian than anyone else.
Am I counteracting the half scoop when I drink it with Popeye's chicken? How does that work? Does it off balance the grease?
Okay, well, first of all, if you're only doing a half scoop, it is a scoop a day. And I was going to say that you could drink too much, I feel like, if you put more than a scoop of powder in 8 to 10 ounces, one big gulp. I feel like if you add more than that, it's a little probably much.
Oh, no. I'm just saying the frequency in which I can drink it. I've been very good about multiple
times a day.
Drinking it, but I'll drink a bunch of water with it first time. Like that'll be the first thing I put, like, the first thing I have in the morning, especially when I'm working out. So I'll have that first. I actually Googled it and it said you should wait 30 minutes before you have like any coffee or anything. So I try and have that. Yeah. I try and have that first thing and then I'll get my day going. Then I'll have like, I like bulletproof coffees, ghee. Channing put me onto that shit one day. I'm like, Channing, what the fuck is
delicious.
This? So Channing put me onto that. It's delicious. The MCT oil, the bulletproof. So that's what I have. But that to me, that's how I've been starting my day as I'm trying to get my body back. Yeah,
That's what I was going to say. You guys are big. You guys are big on the workout game, even though post-career. And I know athletic greens can be a big part of that.
Actually, yes. I've been doing intermittent fasting because Kevin's wedding is coming up in June. So I got to start now, give myself a little head start. So I don't really eat breakfast until after I do my workout, which is basically based on protein. And so when I drink my greens, it keeps me going through my workout and I feel good. Don't get lightheaded. And I can't show it to you too much. People, I just got tested from the NBA.
Bulking? Are you still bulking?
It's bulking season, Doug. It's spring.
Just in case anyone cares, Athletic Greens has over 75 vitamins and minerals that is good for immune support, gut health, clarity, brain fog. We've all been taking it. We all love it, which is why we are now able to kind of have the conversation. We support it. So to our listeners, we want you on board if you would like it. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free...
The Athletic Greens says it's pretty good, y'all.
Free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is head over to athleticgreens.com/road trippin. Check it out. All right, back to some questions. With that said, Specimen 1 on Instagram asked, which teammate had the strangest pregame superstition or ritual? I hate both of you.
Specimen 1. Okay, Specimen 1. Listen, my only ritual, I'll tell you this. I am so anti-superstition. That my only superstition is to not be superstitious.
Have a superstition.
That's my only superstition.
Okay.
That's no lie. Like if it's like, I don't wear the same socks or the same shoes, or you scored a bunch of points, don't you want to wear these shoes again? I'm like, no, fuck no. It wasn't the shoes. It was my fucking work, bitch. And so, yeah, it's my anti-superstition. Channing's superstitious.
Just Chrissy11 on Instagram asks, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, that's a stupid question.
No, it's a hot dog. Now, if you cut it in half and then you cut the bun so that it's not attached, then it becomes a hot dog sandwich. Mind blown.
It's not about the bread.
I don't even know.
It is about the bun. If something is in between a bun, it is a burger or a hot dog. If something is in between bread, then it is a sandwich. So if you put a hot dog in between...
Is a quesadilla a sandwich?
No, it is a national pastime that should be celebrated more often. Okay, the quesadilla,
I don't know if it's a pastime.
the tortilla is the world's greatest gift. You could put anything in it and it will taste good, except for two things.
Tortillas
but
are
then
pretty
we're
good.
all right.
What can't you put in it?
D-Ray 45, it's the last question, wants to know what was...
Are you okay, Chang? Oh, Chang's been drinking. I forgot. Chang's drinking wine.
What was
That's why
the
his cheeks
worst
are hurting.
road trip or worst experience in the NBA you've had?
We're, shit. I can speak for the Lakers.
Oh,
No,
my
you're not
God.
going to do that.
No, the worst. The worst experience is being with people that you don't really like on a team that's not very good.
Oh.
Because people will never understand the amount of fucking time you spend with your teammates for 9-10 months. You just, whatever number you think it is, like fucking double it. Because you're at practice even when you're at home. When you're on the road, that's all you see. That's all you see. It is breakfast meetings. It is bus trips. It is plane flights. You spend more time with your teammates than you do your family, and it's not even close. It's like 70-30. Like, so that's when you're on a bad team where guys don't get along. That's when shit. But when you're on a good team and everyone gets along, it is literally the greatest experience you'll ever experience, ever in your entire life. And you only get it. I played 17 years. I probably had it 3 or 4 times.
I was on a team where people didn't get my humor and I had to turn into a hermit crab and I was depressed. Right? People are like, I don't know what you mean. Like, you're drinking wine on the plane? I go, yeah, we just played a game. We have the day off tomorrow. It is 6:00 where we land. I'm going to dinner with a buzz. I'm going to eat good. And then I'm going to go somewhere that plays good music. Do you want to come and enjoy life? Ew, gross. I'm going to go like shoot some more. What? We just played a game. What's the purpose of this?
With that said, can we end on this? And this is just me allowing you guys to tell a funny story. Remember when Kyle Korver came on the plane with you guys on the way somewhere? And what did he say?
He was like,
Kyle Korver was like, look, I've seen players like drink on the way, like after a game on the way to someplace. I've never seen guys show up at practice at 3:00 and start popping bottles of wine on the way to a city. And I was like, welcome to the Cavs,
welcome
Kyle.
to the Cavs, Kyle.
We have different way of doing things here.
Yeah, listen, that's why we busted Hawks' ass that one year.
Yeah, that's why. They didn't drink
With
enough.
that said,
That was the problem.
you guys are a different breed yourselves. That is another edition of Road Trippin. They're crazy.
Bye, Jim.